We agreed the price is 5 million, so I continued paying. And they'll call, please make sure you make your payment. After 1 year, I actually read in the newspapers that this place where you're putting your money, those guys have gone under. So you can see, even so, the so-called safe investments, you can lose money.
Would you have done, when you look back in terms of real estate, because it's considered the safest and sure bet, would you have done differently?
Our guest for this episode is Mr. Steven Gitagama, ama SG, the former Group CEO at Nation Media Group, a leading media organization in East and Central Africa.
The exposure, the training are very different. Yeah.
At that age, that's a strong statement.
Yes.
Growth opportunity.
Exactly.
It's not about, okay, you'd rather start with a
low bet. I started with 6,500 instead of 7,000. And that was top of at that time in terms of salary.
I believe at entry level, that's like 200K beginning today.
Close to that.
Our conversation today touches on career progression strategies za kusurvive in the corporate sector.
From Del Monte to
EABL.
Kenya Breweries.
Yeah.
Unatoka kwa juice ukaingia kwa pombe. Was that by design?
No, it's not by design. Okay. At that time, EABL was one of the best employers.
Yes.
So when they advertised for the jobs, I applied and I got a job. Again, that goes to the decision I made when I was at university.
Alafu kukua pia na side hustle. So inamaanisha tunaingia corporate na bado tuko pale kwa SME.
So 2 people came, they said they can buy. And they will give me 180,000. Told them no. This thing I bought it at 500. You give me 180. Yeah, it is accident and so forth. So eventually they added me. It was getting late. They added me 20 to 200. I took the 200 core and gave me cash. Put in my pocket. I gave this
with your car in cash.
Na kabla tuzame kwa conversation, kama uko kwa biashara ya ku-exchange stock na pesa, as in uko kwa the business of exchanging product for money. At any given point, the products zenye uko nazo in stock should always match your cash flows. Otherwise, why are you in business? That's exactly where the Odoo inventory app comes in. Watu wengi sana wanakuanga kwa hiyo situation. Unauzanga vitu, but when the rubber meets the road, hauonangi mahali hiyo pesa inaenda. Usikue mmoja wa watu, na hapa kuna system itakusaidia kucontrol. That's the Odoo inventory app. This app comes with features zenye ziko in the needs category of your business, kama forecasted reports, which will help you analyze customer demand ndio biashara yako isikuwe na dead stock, na the detailed reports zinakusaidia ku make purchases based on customer demand. Najua ushaanza kuona mali the inventory app ina fit kwa biashara yako. Na sasa juu najua wewe ni mjanja, hebu jaribu kuconnect the Odoo inventory app na sales or purchases, alafu watch the automated magic. You raise a PO, inventory is added automatically. You create a sales order, inventory is subtracted automatically. And all moves are recorded accordingly for your easy follow-up and reconciliation. Sasa wacha nikugonge na the best part. You can get this app free of charge and for life. That is if you choose it as your first app on the Odoo platform na inakuja with all its features. Link ya kui-access ndio hii tumekuwekea kwa description ya hii video. Kindly note that nimesema the Odoo platform. This is because beyond the inventory app, Odoo as a platform iko na over 45 applications designed for the smooth running of your daily business operations in the modern world. Kama unataka software accounting, ikuwe ni website, POS, HR, Odoo has got you covered. Just use the link tumekuwekea kwa description ya hii video. Remember, the first application unachagua on the Odoo platform ni free for life, including hosting and support, but you can add as many as you want na bei poa based on your business need. And that's all the information you need to take your business to the next level with Odoo.
You have been in boardrooms where people discuss strategy. These are the projections, this is what business looks like. But there's a conversation that comes around that yenye inasema business is different on paper versus on ground. Is there any truth to this?
Most of the time, there's a convergence in the two. in the sense that you must start from the paper,
Yes.
and then you go to what is on the ground, and then readjust your strategy. When you do strategy formulation, you sit in a boardroom, you sit somewhere in a room and visualize what you want to achieve
Yes.
or what you want to make. Let us use an example of you are making a product for children,
Yes.
a small toy car for children.
Yes.
And then when you assume that the children would love to carry 2 or 3 people.
Yes.
But in actual fact, you find that when you go to the ground, when you go to launch the product, you find that the children actually prefer driving the car alone. So you'll have to change that model. Yeah.
Okay.
So at some point, mambo kwa ground ni
It's
tofauti.
different.
But after some time, you find there's a convergence of what is on the ground and it's what is on the paper.
What you planned.
What you planned, yeah.
So do you factor in for that when you're launching a product? Most people believe that their idea is so good that it's going to hit the market straight away. Do you factor in for the variable of it may not work, then you have to go back to the drawing board?
Anytime you launch a product or anytime you're introducing anything, anytime you're doing anything, there's always what I normally call a pit stop. Like when you are racing, you have a pit stop.
Yes.
Say after 300 kilometers, we'll have a pit stop. So that pit stop is a review of the plan
Yes.
and what you are calling the ground.
Yes.
And then you adjust the plan. If you remain rigid, you are likely to sell this product yourself. And most likely, you might actually be out of market because the consumers react differently.
Yes.
Actually, before you launch, they might tell you, this is what I'm looking for. But when they see this is the bottle, I think I don't like it. So can you put a curve here? It gives me a better grip. So you have to go back and either market it properly in a way that it gets acceptance or reshape the product.
Okay.
So those things happen. And it's always important to keep changing. And that's why companies remodel, they reintroduce products. Each period you find, sometimes they even go back to the old product because there's a new product which is actually failed.
Yes.
And you realize that maybe that change, let me use the example of this bottle because it's what is here. You think if you make this bottle shorter and have rings around the middle, it will be much better.
Yes.
But people don't like it. You measure that by the performance of your cells and everything. Those are theories. They are,
Yes.
everybody will tell you their experience. Yeah.
So that means if you can try a product and there's a possibility that it will not work, then this would make us will make us be inclined to the idea. Yeah, for the most part, it's just luck, not strategy.
It is not luck. You've got to plan because when you're doing your planning, you test the market. There's a need. There's a problem you are solving.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, in this market, we have a problem of offices. So you say we are looking for state-of-the-art offices, or we are looking for office space, or there's a problem of traffic. So we are going to create offices, satellite offices in various locations. So you are solving a problem. You are solving a problem, and it is not luck. It is not just a fluke. That problem drives you into formulation of a particular product. If it is beverages, for example, and you find that the consumer behavior is changing towards better health, less concentrated beverages. So you give them a product which resonates with that. Maybe there's a wave which is created by something like COVID, and it changes the way people perceive certain products.
Yes.
So you come up with a product and say, this product is there. You take an example of alcohol. You might find there are people who want to go to social events in bars and such places, but they don't take alcohol. So you give them a product which is sold in that outlet, looks like what their friends are taking, but doesn't have alcohol. So you remove that item, which is alcohol. That is a problem.
Yes.
And those products are there in the market. I'm talking about a product which is there in the market. So you create, and that's why companies have come with products that don't have sugar, because they're addressing the sugar problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all those are driven by the problems that you need to solve, and driven by the needs of the consumer.
Then that brings another argument. Away, if we say it's not luck, then we lean towards customer psychology more. So if you understand customer psychology better, you're almost guaranteed success in selling.
There's a high chance of success. You're not guaranteed. Because the same consumer who was demanding no sugar on their product, when they test that product, they don't like it. Because they build products in their head that might not exist in reality. Each day, you're building a product. You're building something new. It might not exist. But there's a good chance if you are responding to the consumer. Consumer is always king, I think, most of the time. But there's also luck. You can actually, there are people who just land on something by luck and it explodes and does very well. Yeah, but luck is not the way to go. You must respond to that consumer. Consumer need. If it's not the consumer need, you create the need yourself. You create that actually you need this kind of product, and position it very well, market it correctly, and in the process, the consumer will say, actually, by the way, I need this product. I need this item. This is the way I'm supposed to consume this item. Yeah. So again, that's why we have innovation teams. That's why we have market research, all those teams testing the market and actually finding out what is ideal for this consumer that we are talking to. Because we are looking for money sometimes. If that is what you are looking for.
You're looking for money.
You're looking for money. And if the cash will come from, and most of the time, the cash comes from the consumer. Consumer could be government. The consumer could be you and me. You give them what they need. They'll actually also reward you with the money. The reward is the money, saying thank you for what you have given me.
That's a strong statement, because looking for money, you're looking for money, so the end goal is profitability.
If that's your objective, if you are profit-driven, not every organization is profit-driven.
What does that mean?
There are some
profit is the money.
Profit is the money.
Yes.
There are some, majority of the private entities are looking for money. They actually, objective is profit maximization.
Yes.
And they are looking not just money, a lot of it. That's how they maximize their profits.
Yes. What is the alternative? Because if profit is the money, no other way. Like you cannot survive on a business just because you break even. So if you're looking for money, there's something called profitability, and I've been toying with a concept at the average period for profitability for a business in Kenya to hit profitability is 7 years, right? So ideally, the model, this could mean that we've all been misled about business, and I think a submission has been made on this platform that most people are not actually doing business. You are just surviving. You look busy, but there's nothing you're doing, right? That's one level of like looking for the money. What do you think? How would you define a business for someone, both at the individual level and at an organization level?
Okay, a business, the way I would look at it is there are people who have invested in that business. We can call them equity holders, shareholders, or owners of the business.
Yes.
Owners of the business want to create wealth for themselves. And the way they create wealth for themselves is by setting up a business that makes money.
Yes.
Now, money making, just to go to your point of how long it takes to break even or to be profitable, most organizations actually take some time. I know several organizations which have taken more than 5 to 10 years sort of period where they are making losses and barely breaking even. So that's where the shareholder comes in. But after some time, the shareholder's patience runs dry because his resources are limited. You know, they are not, you don't have, and it's not like oil that you are actually drilling from the ground,
Yes.
which, but even oil gets dry.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So shareholders, investors want money. And that's the push that comes into various leaders. Although there are organizations like the NGOs where profit is not the key thing. They measure their success through other measures, like how many cases of maternal or cases of children who have not suffered specific diseases, or how many children have gone to school. You know, those are different measures. But most organizations, they'll be looking for a reward from the consumer, a reward to help them meet the costs of running that organization.
And to create wealth.
And to create wealth. That's ultimately, it's wealth creation. If the ultimate goal for most investments is wealth creation, adding value, giving better yield or better return to the investors. That's why they put their money there. And if there's no good return, we'll run away. That's the natural way of investors. You have to put their money in the right place. Yeah.
So that is now on the top level of what a business is. So on this level, people who do trading, there's a difference between trading and business, a business that creates wealth. That means that will this be accurate to say before you start playing at the level where you can have shareholders and you have people putting money in your venture, you're still not in business?
You are in business, but you are at the initial stages of business. Most businesses start in your head. You wake up one morning and you say, I want to start. And we've seen that with a number of organizations. Let me take an example of a few supermarkets in this country. So one mzee somewhere in Naivasha or in Nakuru wakes up and has a small shop, and then wakes up and says, no, this shop, he sets a shop just to satisfy his basic needs, to pay for milk, to educate children, and so forth and so forth. And then after some time, there's more money. I'm using the word money, not profit. Because you have just when you're at a very low level, you just look at the turnover, not just the money that comes in. You don't even sometimes think about what's the income, what's the cost, and so forth. You just look at the money, you have made enough money.
What you have,
Just sells for the day. And after some time, there's enough money in your pockets. Your pockets cannot hold all that money. So you get an idea of coming up with a small mini market. The mini market grows to a supermarket. And if you are lucky, that supermarket can now go public. Yeah, we've seen that happening in banks. There's a bank which is going public very soon. It started like just a small outfit in the village because the thing is too heavy. So you have to bring other people to shoulder the burden. And by that time, you're already aged, you're already old, you are thinking about succession. So you bring other people and let the thing grow. Most of the organizations that even outside Kenya, they're actually family set up. The family nurtures the business. They take care of the liabilities and everything. Then after some time, you now bring in the so-called strategic investors. You let the ownership go wider than it is. Yeah. But business is business, and business is investment.
And making money.
And making
But
money.
there's a difference between business and investment.
There's business.
You have money, yes, you're filling your pockets, but then there is now, in terms of strategy, maybe we could define investment in terms of duration. How much, how long you're putting your money somewhere, and your projected targets for returns, right? There's a difference between that and getting money to pay rent, getting money to pay school fees.
Getting money to pay school fees, that's business. You're doing business. It's basic trading. It's actually an advanced barter trade. Only that this time there's a common unit of measure, which is money.
Yes.
It's just barter trade. You are carrying currency. Those are like your eggs, and I'm carrying my mangoes. So we swap. But the only thing that now we got a unit of measure which is common. That's business. But investment now takes a longer view. It has other stakeholders, bigger, is wider. And but we all start from business.
Okay.
Then go to
Investment.
become bigger investors. And the magnitude is bigger. But the mentality is almost the same. It's about creating value.
Okay.
It is about increasing what you have. You have $10. You want that $10 to be 15 at the end of the year.
At the end of the year.
Yeah. This other guy, he wakes up in the morning, he has 15 shillings or 100 bob.
Yes.
He's thinking in terms of a cycle of a day or a week or a month. That is business.
Yes.
Yeah. But the other guy, most businesses can't accommodate losses over a long period. But investments, you can be patient a little bit.
And balance in the cycle.
And we hope that maybe after some time, you will actually do well.
Okay. So your background is in finance, and I think the first time we meet, you were the group finance director at Nation. And in my head, I have to bring this up. In my head, before you become group CEO at Nation, itakuwa like Mr. Gitagama atakuwa CEO na yeye anakuanga wa kukata budget, as in just look at the numbers and say no, bring it down to 50%. Like let's say for example the budget is $1 million. No, we'll do it with we'll do it at 400. Does this come from experience? Ama is this based on targets?
Well, I mean, there are various ways of managing finances of an organization. You can manage, the best way is growing the top line, building sales, and then you don't think about the costs. But when an organization reaches somewhere and the sales are not growing as expected, or the sales are not catching up with the increase in the costs, then you have to take some measures, even in your own house. The people who are working recently, a number of taxes were introduced.
Yes.
So a number of people took certain measures. There are people who moved from 3-bedroom to 2-bedroom. There are people who reduced the number of kilos of meat they take every month.
Yes.
Because you go to a supermarket,
Yes.
you used to have a budget of 10 or 10,000.
Yes.
Just theoretical.
Yes.
Top-end family.
Yes.
They used to spend 10,000 per month. But increasingly, when they go to the supermarket, they have to spend
15,
15,
20.
13.
Yes.
You have to think twice because these resources are limited. And that's, so this reaction of cutting or slicing or shaping expenses
Yeah.
is after you've tried many things. For you to see a finance person reacting that way, it's sort of now telling you guys, meenda sana. Hapa,
Okay.
you have to change, shape up.
Oh, so it's sort of like situational awareness. You're conscious of how the sales are doing.
Because you have a
versus the
visual.
cost.
You have a visual. You can extrapolate and see, this is where we are. And if I extrapolate to the end of the month or to the end of the year, I might not even be able to feed you. So I'm better off giving you ugali na sukuma and cutting off this nyama and giving you that ugali na sukuma all the way up to the end of the month and giving you ugali and nyama
for 2 weeks.
16 days. And then you have
then
14 days
to
to
stay
die.
hungry.
You'll die. So which is better?
Survival.
Yeah, you therefore cut and just let you,
Okay.
because most of the time we should spend our time thinking about how we are creating wealth, not how we are consuming wealth. And you don't make money by not using money. You use money to make money. You use money to make money.
That sounds like a contradiction.
It's not a contradiction. You cannot make money if you're not using money. So you have to know how much, what is the extent of the money you are using. And you, therefore, to achieve that, the issue of the yield or the return you're getting from using this money becomes very important. Yeah? Remember we talked of $10 invested. You want to get an extra 5, therefore you want to be at $15. You are using money, you're using $10 to make 5.
Yes.
But if you are going to use $10 and you don't make 5, you make -3. That means you started with 10, you end up with 7, and you expected to end up with 15.
15, yes.
You're destroying value. You're destroying value. So you must make sure that the money is working for you.
That fits into the
Yeah.
philosophy of one of my brother's friends. He says that if you have money, if let's say you make 10,000 shillings, do not budget on the 10,000 shillings you have. Go out there and look for more money to spend, right? In terms of value. Because if you spend this comes into what you've just explained in terms of negative. You will be eating into what you already have in
You're destroying value. You never grow by destroying value. You must build value. You must grow value. You must generate wealth.
So this means, and this is what I meant by contradiction. So yes, I have made the 10,000 shillings, but I need to make money, but I don't want to spend what I have if it's not bringing value, all right?
Exactly. You see, and that's why you have no choice but to make sure what you have grows. If it doesn't grow, then you know you are digging your grave, because it's a matter of time. If what you are keeping here, the $10 that you're keeping, each month you are using 3, you are destroying, then next month you'll have 7. The following month, you will have 7 minus 3. That leaves you with 4. Then the third month, you'll have 4 minus 3, leaves you with 1. After that, you go to debt, you start borrowing.
Then that means...
Then you are in trouble. And you are borrowing, you have no... You'll start feeding on borrowed money. Within a very short period, you realize that people are looking for their money. They are chasing you all over. You go under, or you decide to do unorthodox things.
Which means the idea of saving money for a rainy day is a fallacy. Because if you cannot predict how long the rainy day can be, like let's say there's no comfort in, let's say you've saved 1 million shillings. Let's say that can last you for a year. If your trouble lasts for more than 1 year, you are wiped out and you're actually in the negatives. So then that means, for argument's sake, nothing like saving for a rainy day, because whatever the concept is of saving for a rainy day is planning to destroy value at a later date?
Saving is about preservation of capital. You're preserving capital for emergencies, for unexpected happenings. Then investment, you actually growing wealth. You are multiplying. You must do the two. You must actually save to preserve capital. And you must multiply wealth through investment. So you must invest to multiply that wealth. And you feed from the wealth that you have multiplied. So saving still serves its purpose. Yeah. So you cannot, if you are feeding on your savings, then that's a problem. Most of the time we feed on our savings.
That's what they call a rainy day, right?
That's on a rainy day. But what I told you is savings are preservation of wealth for emergencies and unforeseen events.
And someone told us that nowadays we have insurance for that.
You can insure that. But how do you insure?
Sorry.
Sorry. You can take insurance for rainy days or for unforeseen events.
Yes.
But again, remember, insurance is most of the time short term. Most insurance schemes cover 1 year. Unforeseen events can take longer. I mean, they can take, COVID took 2 years, 3 years, or whatever.
Yes.
So, and remember, with a lot of respect for the insurance, they're also in business. They're just taking advantage of misfortunes of their customers, with a lot of respect.
Yes.
I don't think they are there to make you happy. Because even the common insurances of health and so forth, the moment they realize your risk,
The devil is visiting you.
the
quite
insurance
often.
loss, the devil is visiting you or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Next time when you go for renewal, you say, Dr. Kingori, where are you? Let us discuss your case. We'll renew, but we are loading
They
50%.
want healthy clients.
They'll load, so you take the premium last year, add 50% because you are risky. Yeah. So we go back to the thing about investment and creating wealth as a key thing that will keep you running, not feeding on savings.
Betting on,
Savings are just for one-off emergencies. The other thing they are for is you can use your savings to invest. In the sense, for example, take an example of the SACCO. You save with the SACCO, then they can give you a loan based on your saving. It demonstrates your capacity, your ability, and your seriousness. If you have no saving, nobody will take you seriously. Yeah, that's why the bank asks, give me your statement for the last 3 months, 6 months. When you want to travel to the US, they ask for your statement. Do you have capacity? Can you survive on your own? So that's why saving is it's a prerequisite for success in wealth creation. But you must move very fast to create wealth at each stage. You don't have to wait for tomorrow. Each stage there must be some value you are creating. But not, there are people who save 5,000 this month. Then the following month, on 20th, they go for 3,000. Then on 25th, there's 2,000, they take it. So by 28th, if the salaries are not paid, they are done.
They have to borrow.
Yes. You have to sacrifice. You have to say, now, this is my saving. I have to. And you can survive. You can sacrifice and say, this one, today, if you have a car, for example, I'm going to use a matatu. You save on that fuel. Yeah? I mean, there's so many things you can do. Like the example I gave about you can change from a 2-bedroom to 1-bedroom. Yeah? You can change your location. so that you can live within your means and make sure you're not destabilizing your savings.
To target a certain level of accumulation
Yes.
as a safety net.
Not necessarily targeting. You make sure there's a safety net, because you can target. My target normally is, as a minimum, 10% of what I'm bringing in must be kept for unforeseen, which is the savings, must be preserved as capital, and grow it. Then if it's multiplying in terms of wealth, then you're okay. You know, you can acquire assets that become your savings, provided they are easily convertible into cash.
Easily convertible into cash.
I mean, not buying a plot and calling that a saving. That's a stupid thing. Yeah. But if you buy treasury bills or treasury bonds, there's a market for them. Yeah, you can easily convert them into cash. Yeah.
You don't subscribe to the so-called land banking.
No, I do. I do, but not with my savings. Not with my savings, because it must be convertible into cash. You'll try to sell that property, and it takes 2 years. By that time, you'll be dead.
If you don't solve your emergency.
Exactly. You are sick yourself. You have a dental problem that needs to be sorted, and it requires a certain amount of money. And the only money you have is in that piece of land. So you send somebody, oh, my friend, please, can we sell that property? You think the way you bought it is the same way a guy will come there with cash. They tell you, no, by the way, even the prices have dropped. You are conned. So those are things that so it's always good to preserve through savings, and build, and at the same time, build wealth through investment.
Okay. We partly started climbing the tree from the top, but still makes sense. When we go back in time kidogo, there's something you said in passing. I don't know kama you mentioned it in the corridors of nation, ama you said it in one of the meetings, that you were once a DJ. So this is going back kidogo. So I've always looked at that story as like, how many DJs get to become group CEOs of, I think we can call Nation a multinational, right? Because I think it's the biggest media in East Africa. What changed for you? That's always a very difficult switch, because I understand the passion, when the passion someone has in the entertainment industry. What happens here?
Well, I was not a professional DJ. That's first thing.
Just for fun?
Just for fun. I think it is those things of where I grew up. Again, resources were scarce.
Where is this?
I grew up in the Rift Valley, somewhere around Eldoret. Resources were scarce. So luckily, I managed to get an old car battery, this chloride exide.
Yes.
And that was a key resource. Yeah, so I had the power to control the music instrument. So I would actually, and we loved music. We grew up with the young guys we were with. We loved music. And I did this even all the way to, I should have come with that picture of myself, even in the university.
You'll send it to us.
Yeah, I used to be the guy playing the music. Yeah. Then that's my DJ. So I didn't do is that a professional thing. But it's because I had control of certain resources. And then
DJ.
A convenient DJ. And then I loved music. I loved dancing and all those things at those stages. And that's how when I say I was a DJ, I was not a professional DJ in a disco. I didn't do it in a disco. But
and there was no temptation for you to, because most careers start accidentally like that. It will be very easy for you to end up in a disco because you have upgraded, because that is your entry point.
That thing, even when I was at the university, even when I left, even today, if I go to a pub, I'll go sit closer to
the DJ.
to the DJ. So it's still there.
So you're the DJ that never was.
The DJ that never was, and you'll see me telling the guy,
You need to understand what's going on.
If I meet a DJ, I'll talk to them. But I was never a DJ. The thing that I did, first of all, finance was, I just found myself in finance. It's not something that...
That's not what you wanted to do.
Well, I love business. So finance was the closest to business. I love trade.
Did you have experience, like in terms of, do you have your early experience here? You used to sell?
Yes, my parents, I grew behind a counter, behind a shop. So I did a lot of trade. Yeah, and I could speak very many languages because of that, yeah, which I loved. And actually did do, during my time, we would go to the shamba to dig and do all those things. I never did any of those because I was very good at selling. And because of this thing of DJ and entertainment, guys would flock there because I'll play the music there. And you would entertain people. You would really be a guy people would want. And I loved making money.
You loved making money?
I did. So the closest to that, I was told, no, you have to go and do a BCom degree. Then you'll become a good business person. That's how I landed up in finance.
When you say you loved making money, what is your relationship with money then? Is it for accumulation? Is it just you just have money? Is it that you have dreams that you want to finance? Like at that age, probably you want to buy a car. There's something that drives you to have money. What is your money mindset?
At that age, success was with the people who had wealth, and even today.
Yes.
So I wanted to be at the top. I did not want, and anything, if in the village, there was one guy with a Toyota Stout. So I really asked, why this guy? He's the only one with a Toyota Stout. And we were told he did business. And that's how he got this Toyota Stout. Toyota Stout is a very strong vehicle.
It was a
big never get stuck in the mud and the rough terrain.
Yes.
So I wanted to be like this guy. Yeah?
Yes.
And therefore, trade, make sure you accumulate the wealth, and that wealth will grow you.
Yes.
Yeah? And how do you do it? You must be better than everybody else. Yeah? So at each stage, that thing of better than anybody else, better in doing this business.
Yeah.
Really, how do you become better? You have to read, and be a smart business person. But with time, I realized, it's just one of those guys who was able to make some money and was smarter than everybody else. And that's how he managed to acquire that Toyota Stout.
And that's an area I've been fixing to explore because Kenya has a lot of smart people, but the difference is between two smart people, the smart person who gets, I've noticed you don't like the word lucky, but lucky is very, very key here. A smart person who gets exposed to resources that they can convert. This means what has been touted for most people, growing pole pole, like let's say you're employed, you save your salary kidogo kidogo. This is the template for survival. You may take your kids through school, you may be able to live a fairly decent life, but access to wealth, not that much. Because even the average age, the average time to get the benefits of compounding, let's say for example, you want to earn interest, you're playing around 30, 40 years, right? To start feeling the benefits. Let's say if you can afford to save 10K, 10,000 Kenya shillings for around 30 years, consistently on compounding, compound interest, that's when you can get to start enjoying like proper wealth. But who has 30 years of waiting. Is there a template to actually live a decent life, right? A decent life on the Kenyan economy without, if this analysis is wrong, that it's only a select people who are smart and lucky to get opportunities?
Okay, at that point, there's always somebody who can be lucky, hit a jackpot, and move out of the average. Majority of the people that I've met are average.
Yes.
There was only maybe 5% or less than 5% that are better.
Get access to.
Yeah, and then there's 1% which you don't talk about. Those ones you leave them out of. 1 or 2% you leave them out of
that's
the.
true,
You don't discuss about. So you're talking about 3% out of that. Yeah. So the average guy gets a salary if he's lucky to get a job. Today it's not easy.
Yes.
And the scenario you're talking about is actually more relevant today, where there are no opportunities for employment.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you generate something for yourself to save and to invest?
Yes.
In the earlier years, maybe 20 or 10 years ago, it was easy. All you needed to get a job, save 10 to 20%. By the time you get to 40 years, you have some savings, you buy a plot, you build a house at whatever place you have selected.
Yes.
And you live well, you have some pension. When you retire, if you are working for government or working for an institution, you are good to go. Today, you must be smart. Today, you must be smart in the sense that the opportunities don't exist the way they were straight jacket before, where you had a job, you're employed by the treasury, you're employed by BAT, and you had that job for 15, 30 years. Yourself, you had 10 years at NMG.
Yes.
That doesn't exist. Today you don't have a chance of getting a job. And if you get it, 3, 4 years, 5 years max, you have left. So you must be smart. There must be something better. You must be somebody better than the other people. And in addition to that is your risk appetite. If you are not a risk taker, you must be a significant risk taker. I mean, the opportunities which come. I'm not very good with the cryptocurrencies and so forth, but there are opportunities like those. There are opportunities of putting your money in specific areas where, I mean, like yourself, you've taken a risk, a gamble. You said, I'm going to set up this outfit, and it's going to make a difference for myself. So you take that risk, and those are the people who are doing well, and they are there doing well, genuinely doing well. They're not selling drugs, they are not stealing, but they have taken a big risk.
Yes.
They are very few. It's less than 5%. Majority of people are not risk takers. They are careful. They want the safe route. Yeah, they want to do a fixed deposit. They get 6%. That's what they want to survive on.
Yes.
But the few people who take risks, those are the people. There's nothing like luck. There could be luck. You can win a jackpot. You can win. You can go and do marathon and win, and get 20 million in one go. Genuinely, you must be taking risks. If you're not taking significant risks that nobody wants to take, then you'll never cross that poverty line. You'll just remain on the average. You have been able to buy a small car, you have a Vitz or you have a Toyota Corolla. That is it. You are happy with that. And you are not going to sleep hungry. You pay school fees for the children. But it's those people who are taking bigger risks. Yeah, risks that nobody wants to take. They're the ones who are actually better than everybody else. And they are there, but they are few. So it's about your appetite for risk and what is sitting behind your feet. If it's a smooth surface, you are likely just to be there. But if there are needles which are pricking your feet, you will not stand there. You will want to fly. And in the process of wanting to fly, you might actually end up doing something which very few people have done. If you talk to people who have made money, they tell you the risk they took. A big risk that nobody will want to take that gamble. Yeah? Yeah. I will not give specific examples because it could be personal to people. Yeah. But it's about the risk appetite. If your risk appetite is high, you also fall when you fall a big one.
You could win big or
Yes,
lose big.
that's the way it is. Yeah, you could really make a lot of money, or you lose everything that you had. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you take those risks and.
So now, then basi, inamaanisha in your time when you're getting a job, if we say 10 years ago it was easier to get an opportunity, how easy was it for you to get your first job?
I had very many jobs. I had to decide which job. I was employed while as a student at the university. Yes, and I had 2 jobs. Yeah.
You had 2 jobs?
Yes, 2 appointment letters.
At 2 what?
2 appointment letters.
2 appointment letters?
Yeah, while still doing my last 30 exams, because we were doing 3 years in the university.
So there was nothing like tamaking in your vocabulary?
Employers would come to the university to interview us and give us appointment letters. Yeah, that's the difference.
So how did you go about the process of choosing where you're going?
Well, what I did, I actually went to the 2 places. I went to the 2 places.
Multi-bet.
Yeah, I went to this place and went to the other one and did my own research. There was no, internet was not strong then. So did my own research, and it was also based on what I wanted to do. So I was able to make the right choice, in my own view. And actually, I can tell you the story there on when this HR manager came to do interviews at the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
I was not among the people expected to sit that interview. It was a different group. But because I had a liking for this organization, I met him at the car park and I told him, "You forgot to interview me." He told me, "Young man, but there was a list, you're not on that list. What's your name?" I told him, no. Actually, you should have interviewed me. And the guy asked me, "What is your name?" and everything. I wrote my name, and when the shortlist, there were 3 people shortlisted for the second interview, I was among the 3. And I became the best candidate of the 3. Yeah. So these are the jobs that I had also been allocated to go for interviews. I got it. But I liked this other place. And that's how I ended up in the company is Del Monte in Pica. That's where I started working.
Yes.
Yeah.
So given 2 jobs, like you like Del Monte.
Yeah.
And they are offering you 80% of this other in terms of salary or remuneration.
Actually, the difference was 500. One was offering 7,000, the other one was 6,500. So apparently, I actually went for the 6,500, not the 7,000 salary. Yeah.
Let me adjust that to inflation.
Because I wanted to work for an international company.
You wanted to work for an
international company. This Del Monte was an international company. Then I opted for it. The other company was a local company. Yeah.
You did not trust the prospects of the local company?
The growth opportunity, the exposure, the training are very different. Yeah.
At that age, that's a strong statement.
Yes.
Growth opportunity.
Exactly.
It's not about, okay, you'd rather start with a
low bit. I started with 6,500 instead of 7,000. And that was top of at that time in terms of salary.
I believe at entry level, that's like 200K beginning today.
Close to that. Yeah.
So at this age, you already have the mindset of, I'd rather take less money with a clear growth trajectory
Yes.
than more money. And
Yes. It is not about the short-term opportunity, because you go in at a high pay, but you stagnate there. Because there were people who had worked for these organizations. Yeah. So you talk to them, they tell you, very good place, but I'm still there. You go to the other place, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity of growing. You have an opportunity of growing both your career and your pocket in terms of salary. Yeah.
you don't doubt your skills. You're not about ati, oh, na sasa nataka, I just get in, I'll be able to survive.
No, the issue of competence is not an issue. You know you are good. You'll do any job, anywhere, and you'll succeed.
Yes.
Yes, should never be an issue. You should believe in yourself. You can do any job, anywhere, and you'll succeed.
And now, sasa, when you start with Del Monte, how you end up heading Nation is because you chose a career that can be standard across different organizations. Finance.
Yes, it fits in any organization. You can work for government, you can work for
Private sector.
You can work for Nairobi Hospital. You can work for anybody.
The principles of how Del Monte makes money and how Nation makes money are the same.
The same. You have a product. The product could be of any nature. And you have a consumer. You're putting this product on the market. The consumer is rewarding you for the product you have given them. That is it.
Okay.
That reward is what feeds you.
So at some point, you also, you have an interesting entry point. At some point, you decide, I laughed at your 1998 Matatu story. You decide to venture into the Matatu business. Is this the first time you're diversifying?
Well, I've taken very many risks, but the whole thing, the principle of diversification, is core to success. You must try and have, again, going to the wealth creation, you try and have various sources of income within what you can control.
Within what you can control.
Yes. So it's among the initial ones, but I also had a shop. I told you that I grew up behind a counter.
Yes.
So the first thing I did was I set up a small shop within the estate in Thika. They call them kiosks. And I employed some people, but in the morning before going to work, I'd pass there. In the evening, I would pass there, and it did well. But
this is soon after you've gotten your first job.
That is after 2 years. After 2 years. The first 2 years, I continued studying, studying for professional exams.
Yes.
And doing all those things. But there was a lot of time.
Yes.
And they could see an opportunity. The estate was a new estate. We had to walk very far to get bread, to get, basic things.
Yes.
They said, guys, this space here. Yes. I'll put up something, and I knew where I would buy
sourcing
and you do basic stock taking, which is a principle from my training and from the shop business that I did. So that was my first venture.
And you start in familiar grounds. Yes.
And I can tell you that kiosk up to today, almost close to, that was 1990. Up to today is how many years are those?
35 years.
35 to 37 years. It is still there. It is still there. It grew and became bigger and bigger. because it was the location was center to that estate. Yeah, if you know the estate, there's an estate called Makongeni in Thika.
I've heard of Makongeni.
Yeah, the population then the population was about 50,000 or so people. So there's traffic.
You knew that?
I knew that. From
You knew the population?
From the, what do you call it? The census. And also I knew the first number was the number of voters. Yeah. See the number of voters, and then you just, Thika was an industrial hub. Then there were very many factories there. So I created that thing, and it gave me some money. And but after some time, it became difficult to manage because I got promoted and I would work long hours. So I sold the business to a friend of mine within the same organization because
it was making money.
It was making money from day one.
But it's strange.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I'm working on a documentary about how people make money from the shops.
Yes.
But wherever you have a strategy, you already have, and I've never looked at the voters' numbers as an opportunity, how many people are actually in a certain location.
And the traffic. You see, and these people, and myself, where you are going, you walk. You'd walk 3 kilometers, you'd walk 2 kilometers to get unga, to get bread, to get milk, basic things. And in that shop, actually, I even used to sell Nation newspapers. Yeah.
But Sasa, now the margins from what you're selling are very small, but you're betting on the numbers.
Exactly. You see, I can tell you, now, a crate of bread, you only have one bread is your profit. A crate of milk, one packet of milk, that's KCC, is your profit. So the margins are very low, but you could sell. I mean, in a day we could sell 2,000, and my salary then is 6,500. So you can see I was doing much better. I would get the rent in the 2-bedroom house was 1,500. I'd pay my rent from that business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you sold it. It's profitable, but you sell it kama ina.
Because the core was my job. That's always very important. Your job, because it's a cash cow. It is your source of wealth. Then, because I had this desire to generate wealth and get money, I met some people. Transport business was doing very well in those years. Excellent. And guys would buy vehicles, and I would feel very bad. People are getting wealth, and I'm still...
You're left out.
And I'm left out. Surely I felt, why would, 5 vehicles, this one. Each 6 months, a guy has a new vehicle on the road.
That's booming business.
That is booming business, yeah, because the economy was doing well. So I said, okay, I'll also try this business. And it did well initially. Did well from the month of August to November, December. We're doing well. Get 1,500, 2,000 daily. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And you end up, at the end of the day, you make 50,000. That's a lot of money. Yeah. So we did well, and but I started struggling.
Before you start struggling, when you're making money, did you have to borrow to invest in the transport?
I did actually borrowed. I borrowed from the cooperative society.
And the math made sense. You were able to beat the interest?
Did. It made sense, and I was sure within 1 year, maximum 18 months, I would pay back this money. Yeah, it makes sense. Basic. If you're making between 1,000 and 2,000 every day, 1,000, 2,000 every day, you have 30 days in a month. You make 50,000.
Yes.
So in a year, call it 10 months.
Yes.
You have 400,000.
Yes.
This vehicle is 500,000 because it's not a new vehicle. A new vehicle then.
You did not buy
a new vehicle. A new vehicle then was 1.2 million.
You consciously bought
a used vehicle and pimped it up,
Yes.
bought new tires, changed the cylinder head, pistons here and there.
So first of all, your investment, as you've reviewed, if you are to, for the same value you would have gotten from 1.2, you are able to get the value at 500,000.
Yes.
500K.
Yes.
So if you are competing with someone who's bought a brand new vehicle, he actually has been shorted 700,000.
No, the difference is on the market, qua ground. Passengers want, it. They want the new vehicle. So it is always full.
That's another variable, yes.
It is always full. So you need an aggressive salesperson. In the name of the conductor, is your sales manager.
Yes.
To push. This guy goes for more than 2,000. He actually goes for a minimum of 2,000, while your minimum is 1,000.
Oh, you're lucky to get the 2,000.
Yes. No, he will get.
You are lucky.
Me, I'm lucky to get the 2,000. Yeah.
Yes.
It comes in during the month end or the seasons, that school opening, closing, that kind of a thing. Yeah.
So yes. So, but it's also strategic that you actually went for a used vehicle and not a new one.
Because
so you'd rather
I couldn't afford
the salesman.
this
Or you
1
couldn't
million.
afford
Yes.
yes.
My capacity was 500,000 maximum loan.
Maximum loan.
Yes. And the vehicle, I bought it for 490. Oh, just 500. And the 510,000, I reinvested it. In fact, I added another 20. Yeah, 520 to make it look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, business booms kidogo, you also get a piece of the pie.
Yes.
Where is the struggle coming in?
So the struggle is actually continues doing well, but the struggle is my time, because I wanted each evening to know how to see how they've performed.
You have to keep track.
You have to keep track. So sometimes they would come very late, and I'm supposed to wake up early in the morning. We have a meeting. Yeah. Sometimes in the morning we need to discuss something. So my time, the struggle was on my time. I felt it is demanding a lot of my time. One time it had a problem. Actually, I had to bring it close to the working area, and I would sneak. You find your loyalty. I would sneak out to go and. That time I was working for breweries, somewhere in Baraka. So I would sneak out and get time to go and check. So mmefunga mmemaliza, hebu piga start, sikia iko sawa. Then you tell them to go. You get one of your mechanics at your workplace to go and check for you. Those kind of things. So I felt my loyalty is
not worth the.
It's not worth the effort. Yeah. But I like the money.
You like the money.
Yeah.
And you also
then
have a very
one day,
interesting.
one day the guys gave out. I had new tires. They gave out my tires to another guy who was going to Kisumu.
They gave out the tires.
Yeah, and because and the argument is very simple. Huyu jamaa unajua anaenda mbali. Huko ikiharibika ni shida. Ours, you can, because we are just around here, Nairobi, Thika, we can use old tires. In case you get a problem, we can always fix it. Then I realize these guys are not thinking. There's a problem here, because how do you give my tires? Yeah.
Had they been paid for that? It was
I don't
just
know.
Out of kindness.
I don't know, but I'm sure they must have been.
They sold it.
Given something.
They sold the tires, yeah.
So I knew I had no control. I knew I lost control here. So I started feeling the pressure and the work pressure also. I got upgraded to be a finance manager. So there was demand also for my time, and because I would work even on Saturday. So then the story I gave you of the Christmas of 1999, 25th, the guys, there was a booming business going to Voi. They decided to go to Voi. And they were sure they'll make it by midnight back to Nairobi.
Yes.
And they would. And several times they had actually brought 3,000. And I would be very happy.
Yes.
You have exceeded your targets. And 3,000 is actually net of all the costs.
Yes, yes, yes.
Fuel, the salaries for the day, net of everything. Yeah. So you felt they've done well. Yeah. So these guys, they get there, they have involved in an accident, and they call that time. They call the office line. I talk to them and tell them, guys, I made in my head, I'd already started feeling tired. I made up my mind, my priority is this work.
Yes.
So I continued staying in the office. I stayed there until the last day of the year. They were locked in. The family came to me. I told them, Nitaenda, I'm going. I'm going. Finally, I went there the beginning of the year, on 1st of January, after we finished the work we were doing. When I listened to them, I listened to the police, I said, that's the end of this business. I'm not going to do it again. And I'm not going to, this vehicle must be sold here. It will not live here. Yeah. So 2 guys came. I went to a local Juakali there. I met some people. Then I went to another guy. So 2 people came. They said they can buy, and they will give me 180,000. Told them no way. This thing I bought it at 500. You give me 180. Yeah, it is accident and so forth. So eventually they added me. It was getting late. They added me 20 to 200. I took the 200 bob and gave me cash. Put in my pocket. I gave this.
With your car in cash.
I gave these guys each person 2,000 because I sorted out the issues at the police.
Yes.
And I left them. I got a bus from what do you call it? From Mombasa. I boarded it. I don't even know how they left. And that was the end of it.
You never got to buy your second matatu.
I never. And everybody was doing well. So people came back. When I came back, they told me, there's something wrong. I think you made the wrong decision. But it's not about the business that was the problem. I had gone to a business that was wrong for me because I didn't have time. Because everybody else was not working. I was working on a high pressure job, yeah, and a demanding job. And I wanted to do more than I could manage, yeah.
This means you can't start a business to be run by other people.
The nature of the business. You can do. I used to do that with the kiosk. There's a lady who was very good. Yes. She used to do the job for me. But this one requires your time. You need to monitor very closely. You need to be available. You need to understand the business much better than the way I understood it. I thought it's just buying shares or investing in a bank where you put your money. It is not. It requires some presence.
Yes.
Yeah. And the dynamics are very different. And I was trying to carry 2 heavy things. That's what biggest problem when you are working is the problem of, and you are doing other businesses that require your presence, is that you not get maximum yield. You can't run 2, 3 businesses that require your presence. You have to make a decision on where you need to spend most of your time and what other business can you do without demanding your presence. If, for example, it's a business that requires you to be there on weekends, that's a good business. But if it's a business that works every day, half the way they are arrested in Gitagama, there's a strike in Gitagama, you have to make a decision. They're telling you this, they need to spend 10,000. Please bring. That time we didn't have M-Pesa. You had to bring the money.
There is that part too.
Yeah.
There is that part too.
You have to bring the money. Yeah. You can't, today you can transact with technology. That time
you had to physically take
You have to physically take the money. So it's hectic. So you say, kaeni hapo mpaka jioni, nitapitia. Yeah. So,
yeah.
so you can see.
Does this change your relationship with risk after that experience?
No, it didn't change actually. It's a learning. And I'm very happy that I moved out and I got something, at least.
Or you got
Yeah.
something?
There are people who have lost everything. Yeah. There are people who have lost. You go into a business and it is a business, you are not fully aware. And by the time you come back one day, you find things are not the way you expected. Your full investment has disappeared. This one had lost 300,000, but not 300. I think I must have had about 50 to 100. So in my head is I lost 250, 50%. But it's not what I intended. No. Yeah. And there are people who have done so well. There are people who have done so well.
That's the marvel of the matatu industry. Because you'll always see new matatus on the road. Now, in terms of, let's say, you would make 40 in a month, compared to like creating value at your place of work and negotiating to get a 40K increase. Because I believe you could. Is that a solid argument? Like, if I invest in matatu plus all the stress, I'll make 40.
It's not. It is not. Because the risk there, you have to factor in the risk. Because here, that time my salary was 26,000. And this was...
The matatu was making more than your salary.
More than my salary. Yeah. That's why I was doing it. Yeah. And you can see I'd grown from 6, doing 26. It's
Yeah, but
almost
then again,
4 plus times, yeah, which is a good thing.
This changes something. The people who encourage investments always talk about if you have a side business, you can quit your job once the money has surpassed your salary. So this means that if you had quit your job for the matatu business and probably invest in another one, you had the potential of focusing and making 80.
It is possible. It is actually possible. But I loved the prestige of working for corporate organization. And I knew I would still, this 26 will grow one day.
You knew it would grow.
And this 40 remains 40. Unless I do, multiply, it's not a guarantee. So the risk was higher.
Yes.
The risk was higher with the matatu business than with the office job.
You have the money outside, but you cannot commit to it.
Remember, this was a loan. This was a loan.
Yes.
So it means everything would have, I would have put all my eggs in one basket. Yeah.
Yes.
Which was much, much more risky. So the job was sort of...
It is above your risk.
It was just the buffer. Yeah.
Yes.
Protecting, providing cover. And you can see after I sold it, I focused on the job. Yeah.
And you grew.
I focused on it for some time. But, I didn't stop investing. I continued investing, looking for opportunities here and there. Another, I think this is one of my worst investments. So I said, I'll look for passive investments.
Yes.
So I bought a house with this real estate developer. They did very well, first one. I'm doing very well and got a tenant. Then I went for the second one. They went to another estate, second estate. The first estate is complete. They have sold to everybody. And houses are complete and we have all occupied. When they went to the second estate, they started construction and I became busy. We agreed the price is 5 million, so I continued paying. And they'll call, please make sure you make your payment. After 1 year, I actually read in the newspapers that this place where you're putting your money, those guys have gone under. And your money, they had 5 million there. So all of it disappeared. I feel so painful, losing 5 million.
Including the first
one is okay.
The first one is okay.
It's okay. Up to today, it is still there.
Yes.
But the second one disappeared. The guys went under. I'm not the only one. There are so many people from the country, from the diaspora. It's a story which is, I don't know whether it is still in court or not, but So,
If it's
so you can see, even so, the so-called safe investments, you can lose money.
would you have done when you look back in terms of real estate, because it's considered the safest and sure bet, would you have done differently?
What I didn't do, I did not go to, because I only went there twice the whole year, just at the beginning. I did not monitor the progress. I did not bother, to do more due diligence, go to the offices, just even go to the site and see how far are they going. You have paid 2.5.
Yes.
How far has the building gone? The guys were not, they had just pocketed our money. Yeah. So I would have, the other people who had only paid half, so they lost half.
They lost half, yes.
I was among the overconfident people. I trusted them. I over-trusted them, and I put all the,
Yes.
I'd paid, I deposited everything. Yeah. So I feel, you feel when you lose 5 million, yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And
by any standards, yeah.
By if I do this math, this is between 204 and 208.
That's around,
If it's the 2012 company, it's another 2012 company.
this is the 208, and that's a lot of money in 208. Today,
It's a lot of money.
Today, in 208, that is equivalent to maybe 40 million.
Yes.
Yes. It's a lot of money.
So does this, that's a painful lesson. Does this change now your buying strategy? Like that's a price you pay for due diligence.
Yes. And I didn't stop. Actually, after some time, I went back to, but very careful. And what does your risk appetite drops? Actually switched off. So these ones, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And then at the same time, the shares, we are doing a lot of shares investment. And then some guys, systems were very bad. Some companies went under. I'm a victim of some of those companies that went under with my money. But the share business, the first investment I did in shares, when I sold the shares, I felt like I'd stolen the money. It was too much. You put in 30,000, then you get 300,000. Yeah, after some time.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
You feel like it's actually not your money. You feel like you have stolen.
Yes.
But it's, and at the same time, you can put in 30,000 and you end up with 3,000. That's the shares business.
Yes.
But there's a period when those shares were doing, the stock market was doing very well. But the regulations were not good.
Yes.
The number of companies that went with people's money, those things, those are lessons you learn. So when you invest in shares, make sure, the lesson then was make sure your stockbroker is a credible one. Yeah. But even those credible ones, some of them go under.
I'm doing something with the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and we actually went for a training on derivatives, which is a relatively safer way of dealing with the stocks and buying shares. And before that meeting, I think it is on this platform, someone actually submitted that the stock exchange is dead. Like the Kenya business environment does not have that diverse portfolio of businesses that you can actually turn a profit on. But the Kiharu MP Juzi was on in the news talking about buying a share for 2 shillings, and then the next year it's 13 shillings.
Yes.
So depending on how much you bet.
Based on when you bought it, how the company is performing. But lately, currently the stock market is doing well.
Yeah.
It's one of the areas that are worthwhile for investing. But for some period, in the last 2-3 years, the market has been very dormant. In fact, if you look at most of the companies, the brokerage companies, they have been making losses. they've been struggling. If you look at their performance, as an indicator of how they have been performing. But still a good area of diversifying your investment. I'm giving you this sort of the whole concept of investment diversification, very important. Yeah.
Yes.
Try one area.
There's no sure bet, Kwanza.
There's no sure bet. Okay. Clearly, you have been spending a lot of time with guys who are betting. Yeah.
They call themselves investors, actually. And I think at the Nairobi Stock Exchange training, we learned that in terms of investors in stock, they are not doing anything past, was it 700 million? Like the profile, like the pool of money being pulled in terms of active trades.
Daily.
Daily. I can't remember the duration because for betting, I think the number was 800 million.
Betting you can't compare with anything. I mean, that's a lot of money in betting. Although I don't.
And it's a promise for returns.
Yes.
I don't subscribe to that.
I mean, there are guys who have taken those risks and they have done well.
As we close, you had a very interesting career trajectory from Del Monte to Kenya Breweries.
Yeah.
Unatoka kwa juice ukaingia kwa pombe. Was that by design?
No, it's not by design. Okay. At that time, EABL was one of the best employers.
Yes.
So when they advertised for the jobs, I applied and I got a job. Again, that goes to the decision I made when I was at university. The organization you work, where you're starting from, gives you a good stepping stone, where you're stepping on to your next move. You know, so it was easier to move from Del Monte to EABL because in terms of standards, systems, in terms of exposure, it's clearly very different, and you could fit in very well. So I was able to get that job.
So in terms of career trajectory, if you say you're starting with a lower salary at Del Monte, it's not a guarantee that you want to be at Del Monte for 40 years to grow within the ranks of Del Monte. It is where you start with and the opportunities in other companies that you...
The opportunity, is this job going to give you a UN position? You want to work for the UN. You are not able to enter UN. And even if you go into the UN at that lower level, it is very tough to go to the top through the ranks. It takes longer.
Yes.
But you can hop, step, and jump depending on what you are stepping on your way to.
Okay.
On your way to that other position.
And as a group CEO of a company like Nation, are you able to, I was told that there is something like talent spotting when you can spot someone and you actually know where this particular individual is going, and you know there is certain individuals who will be stuck in a rut for the rest of their lives.
You can actually pick that. There are people who have told you, I mean, you have the potential. That's the word we use. You have a potential to grow because you are thinking and your response, the way you are solving problems it's very different from the average person. You can see that when you have a classroom. I was also a teacher at one time. When you have a classroom of 40 students,
yes,
you will always see this student is actually above the rest, and they'll still score a better score. So how they respond, how they perform, will tell you, and that's exactly what has happened. And you can see, like most of the CEOs in most organizations, if you look at how they have grown in their career, it tells you they didn't start from there. They started from somewhere, and
yes,
it's not at the bottom. They actually started from the top of their class, and they have grown, stepping, on the right stones to the top of that organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as someone who has a background in finance, you get to become a group CEO. Now your strategy, is a CEO chosen based on the needs of a company then? If your background is in finance, you need someone who will look at the money aspect. And let's say, for example, if the company is looking for growth in terms of talent, you look at someone who's a talent scout.
you know, these are what you call leadership positions. The finance training gives you the base, yeah, gives you the base to become a leader. Because when you are the CEO of NMG, you don't have to be an expert in journalism, for example. You don't have to be a finance. You know, you need to have leadership skills. And by the way, let me tell you my story on Nation. In high school, I wanted to really participate in football, but I was not good. I was not selected in the team. So I started reporting for the team. And I went for each game because I was a reporter. So as a reporter, that tells you I had a lot of interest. I had actually a lot of interest in journalism. I used to report and so forth. So, but going back to the issue, it's about leadership. Because you are managing human beings. Yeah? You're managing resources. You are not going to write the stories. No. If it is, say, manufacturing, you're not the one going to set the beams and the pillars and so forth.
Yes.
But you need to know that that engineer or that reporter is the right reporter to do that job, and he has the right environment to deliver on that job. That's all you need to do. That you have people who can do the job. That doesn't require you to be an expert in that profession. And that is seen from how you manage the people at the levels you are working with. And there are organizations where maybe particular skills are required. The organization is struggling with a particular issue. So they might look for somebody in that area.
Yes.
Yeah. But otherwise, you don't have to be from a particular profession to lead a particular organization. There are many people who are leading organizations that have no business. They don't understand. They are leaders. The CEO of Nairobi Hospital is not a doctor. Yeah, he's actually, and that guy. Sorry, we worked with him, and I told him, "You will go places." When he got the job, he told me, "By the way, you remember?"
You saw him before?
Yes, I saw him before. I saw him in, I think, 2007. Yeah? And not just one, many of them.
And he was not in a leadership position?
No, he was not. He was actually an officer. He was a procurement officer.
Asante sana for making time for us. I've enjoyed the conversation and much appreciated. We have been technical but very, very enjoyable conversation. I hope one day schedule yako kialau tena, people will also get a taste of your storytelling experience. Alafu, I'm glad we were able to do this because I was hoping to do this at Nation, but I didn't know how to approach the conversation. But I'm glad this is a setting that is interesting, and I believe our audience have gotten proper value in terms of information that you have shared. And we hope people will also learn from your experience and the nuggets that you've shared with us.
Good. I think anytime we can always have a chat.
Asante.
And I'm happy.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy with you.
Thank you.
You know,
Asante.
I've seen you many years, so I'm happy when I see you growing.
Yes.
I think we'll support you.
Thank you.